Hi, Tuccis. It's D Money.
And Roris.
Two good Tuccis here to talk great famous Tuccis of film and television. This week we are discussing and dissecting Chuck and Larry of, I now pronounce you, Chuck and Larry.
As a reminder, if you don't know, a good Tucci is that BFF who's got your back no matter what. As always, that's just like Stanley Tucci in almost every role he plays. And Stanley, if you happen to be listening, I too was gay once. And thankfully for me, that phase never ended.
I was like, once.
Hi, Tucci.
You're like, well, that one joke oh, where was it? Where she was like, well, I did it once and then every day after that till 1967 or something like that. I forgot what it is, but
I couldn't tell you the time and date, but it is absolutely that. Hi, that is me.
specifically 1967.
Oh, actually, that was probably close to accurate. Yeah, for me personally. Look at
Yeah.
us, little gay moment. Hi, gay.
Oh, hi. Ooh. Oh, yeah, all the rainbows. We rest in peace.
Ooh.
Before we get into this, I just want to say I thought this was a different movie when I suggested it because I will say I suggested Chuck and Larry because in my mind, how I remembered it, because it was what, 2007, you said?
Yes.
In my mind,
Mhm.
I remembered it in a completely different way. Like, maybe this is kind of representation for the gay community, the LGBTQ community, and damn, bitch.
On the cover, it looks
Damn.
like it.
Hmm.
And if you haven't seen it since 2007, I can't expect you to remember all of it, especially because we were all looking at it from a different perspective at the time.
I want to say it was 2007, and like I want to say it's like a testament to like what representation was like, or like what we thought was cool, or like they're dropping the F bombs on Will and Grace. Like it's crazy
It's
how it was the Wild West. And so like to now put it in today's context, it was like, yeah, no. But we will talk about because they are good Tucci's. They obviously did the thing.
they did the thing. They are very good Tucci's. Uh,
Oh my goodness.
I not entirely uncomfortable. I was not. I was not happy early in this film.
Is she not entertained? No.
Actually, no. No, she does not. I
Oh.
would like a refund on this free stream. Thank you very much.
The one thing though I will say up front is um which one was Kevin Smith? That was Chuck, right?
Chuck was Adam Sandler.
Chuck was Adam Sandler, and then
Yeah.
Larry is Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Okay. So Larry, I will
Larry
say,
there.
he did have his two kids who I felt had like swapped gender identities just to play into like the storyline or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt like out of everything in the movie, he handled them like that was like the best thing out of the movie is the way he dealt with them because like he didn't know like what to do with his kids, but he still supported them no matter what. He was like
There was a
they
period
started to
of
grow
growth.
like the tap shoes and stuff. He was like trying to suppress it, but by the end he was like getting into it and stuff. But even me, I was like, kid, you're fucking up my floors.
But see, that's the concern. Not, oh, this is what my kid is into.
Yeah.
There's a different perspective. No,
You get a piece of plywood and practice out back for a half hour
it
before
was a
bed.
familiar relationship. I'll say that.
Hmm.
It made me think back and reflect on some things. I will say that. I There is that growth, and I will give them that. There is something to acknowledge there that, and oddly enough, Chuck, Adam Sandler, I
Adam
almost said
Sandler.
Lambert, um, helped, I think, with a lot of that.
Hmm.
Like, he had his moments and he was saying things that he should not have been saying. There's a lot of things
Okay.
being said in this movie that a lot of people should not have been saying. I'll say
Okay.
that. But we do see that change, and he like helps support that and like push for the kids because he sees the relationship happening there as well and like knows the history. We get a little bit of the sob story, of course,
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't know about this one, gal.
Yeah,
We don't know about her. I hadn't seen her probably since 2007, and we refreshed, and I was just immediately like, all right, all right, well, we're doing it.
See her.
Mm-hmm. As you said, of her time.
Yeah, but, like, going back to you saying that you saw some things, I saw some things, I
Mm.
related to some things, but do you think sometimes that kids are, I don't wanna say, like, given to or sent to or, like, I don't want know what phrasing you wanna use, but, like, do you think, like, people have kids and those kids have certain traits that will then teach the parent things or, like, are meant for, like, the parent to atone for, like, how they were up until they had that
Yeah.
kid?
Yeah.
Because I know my situation, like, if my dad saw me in high school, he would probably would have bullied the fuck out of me. And so,
It would have
like,
been a different relationship. Yeah.
yeah, like, if it wasn't father-son, if it was peer to peer, like, we would it would not be there, and, like, I w like, he again, it was like a Larry situation where, like, he didn't know what to do with me, but, like, party on, sister. Like, I remember, like, it was, like, Spirit Week, and I was, like, on all the fucking councils and everything, and I had to participate in one of them. Like, I had to dress up like Peter Pan one day, and so I, like, dropped he dropped me off, I, like, went to school in tights, and, like, somebody asked him something, and he was like, "The bravest thing that you've ever done was, like, go to school in tights and, like, carry out the entire day in costume." And I was like, "That was a Tuesday, and I lived, okay? I
Was
turned these into children
serving.
and good to
Uh-huh.
uh-huh. So, like, what do you mean brave? Like, there's
The
nothing.
bravery.
Tell me, like, that's not bravery. Bravery is, like, wearing a crop top, like, through a group of teenagers. Oh my god, bro, brutal.
Destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
My god, and then if one person giggles, just automatic tears. I'm, like, welling up thinking about it.
It's all right. You're in a safe place now.
Oh,
Living your
okay.
best life. Gotta check it out.
I gotta center myself. Count 5 things around me.
To circle back to your question, give you a moment, take a breath, take a breather. No, I think there's a weird thing. We've talked about this. I don't want kids. I don't care for kids. I don't like kids. It's not for me. It's not for me and mices, and that's okay.
Vices?
The people who do have them, the people who do want them, the people who get them unexpectedly, whether they are excited or not about that, whatever the situation may be, I like to think that yes, it is an opportunity for that person. It is there are lessons to be learned. There are things to know and grow from. Apparently, parenthood changes you for as a person. I'll never know. Uh huh.
No.
Uh huh.
There's something you would like to share with the class? I, um, I I was gonna say something, but it sounded really creepy. I was gonna
Oh,
say
be
I
my
don't want
guest.
kids sometimes, but it's like when I'm at Disneyland and like you see like the little girls get
This
like
isn't
the princess
helping.
makeovers, like I want to take them to be like, all right, we're gonna do the princess makeover, and
You just you want to be the gay uncle.
there's moments, yes, there's moments, then like give them back.
Yeah.
It's like here's all the cotton candy. You want some sugar?
Like,
Let's get a
mama,
churro.
that's work. You get 8 hours of
Mhm,
my day, maybe once a
mhm.
week.
And so yeah, that's crazy, but like I said, it sounds kinda creepy, like, give your children
Choose your
toy
wording.
rides and this
Choose
and
your
like
wording.
yeah, so, like, there are times where, like, it would be fun to, like, d discover it through their eyes or, like, act a complete fool, but, like, get away with it in name of, like, "Oh, this is we're doing this for the kid," you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There's a lot. It's easy to on both sides. Like, you either use the kids as like that example or excuse to be like, oh, I can do blah, blah, like it's because of this or it's before that or it's whatever, blah blah blah. Crazy moms, man, crazy moms, crazy moms. But then at the same time, you fully just like present this whole like mask to the children
Mhm.
and these just like this whole little bubble of whatever world you build for them that a lot of times is not accurate
Oh, no,
to
and there's
many
a lot of
degrees.
things where like, I know I don't want kids, but there's a lot of things where I'd be like, "Well, if I was a parent, I would do this, and if I was a
Oh
parent, I would do
sure.
this," but I know right now that I don't know a damn thing, and that if I was a parent, I don't know if I would actually be doing the things I would say I would be doing on this day, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like, I don't know. It's just how I feel. There's things, but like, but yeah, I think that kids are sometimes lessons to be learned from.
absolutely.
That question.
Absolutely. Well, they also like there's that whole thing of karma where like, you get what you gave. So like your
Mhm.
kids give it to you like worse than you gave it to your parents and like as far as like their personalities and this and that. So like karma, careful, she'll get you, gal.
So one thing about this movie is the cast and everybody is in it. I don't want to say everybody, but everybody of the time
Yes.
in it. And like
Yes.
even like the bit roles, even if you didn't know their name, you're like, oh, I've seen them before. I know it's an Adam Sandler movie and he employs like all of his buddies, but it was like Rachel Dratch. I will say, all right, so Rachel Dratch was in the office and she was like, well, have you ever thought of marrying anybody to like help the pension program? Because that's like what the whole thing is about.
Fully throwing
And
herself at him.
um I'm not saying this as slander because I'm saying it as somebody who recognizes another and complete fan of 90 Day Fiance, that character. Like she goes so that's why she
Oh
was
yes.
feeding it out. She wanted to live that fantasy. She wanted it.
So let's do it right now. Here. It's been
Mhm.
5 minutes. That's all I need.
She watches all of them, 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Paradise, 90 Day Other Way, 90 Day Pillow Talk,
So are we talking about
all of
Rachel
it.
Dratch's character or are we talking about you?
That's what I'm saying. It's Rachel Dratch's character, but I recognize it. Like, girl, you watch 90 Day
You more than
Fiance.
recognize. That is you in a parallel universe.
Legitimate.
That is you working the 9 to 5 office job. Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Rachel Dratch, though, that she do I don't know if we want to do like a running count, but like Rachel Dratch ally.
Ally.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so they're like they did hit some notes right, but also I feel like what job has Rachel Dratch not taken? So,
So yeah.
uh,
Mm-mm. And that's that one.
and we also want to get into cameos. My only note is not Tila Tequila as a Hooter Girl extra.
Again with the thumbs up. Right on time. Miss Tila
Yeah,
Tequila.
that Tila Tequila will get you. Um, just I think we talked about this a while ago. Just somebody building up their life on one thing and then completely throwing it out the window to do another thing with their life is crazy to me. And Tila Tequila, I feel, falls into that because she goes, "Who?"
Yeah. Well, I
Mhm.
mean, to a
Like,
degree I can relate to that.
but she had a reality series. Like, you have too
Yeah.
much of a footprint as Tila Tequila to not claim that you yourself, in fact, are Tila Tequila.
That's like Gaga, like, I don't remember Art Pop. That didn't happen.
Yeah,
She didn't write that book
she did not write that book, but Tila, we saw you writing that book. You wrote it on the walls in crayon.
on a live stream.
MTV Studios, you wrote that book.
Mm-hmm. On TRL Live. TRL Live.
And then like she came back later on with like the whatever they were doing in that bedroom with the doctor in the matching bra and panty.
Yeah,
And
let's talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But
let's not talk about that. And I realized she was the only one who had a spoken role besides the doctor. So
mm-hmm,
good for her getting those
mm-hmm,
residuals.
a little more than an extra. She
Hmm.
gets a line.
But not quite a bit player.
No, there was really all that like again for the time. Heavy hitter cast. Uh-huh.
Because again, it was the time. Tila Tequila was the time.
But even
She
like
was
it's
the new
cast
Tila Tequila.
and the cameos and it's like it's the whole nine with everyone. And like she's gone.
Bye.
Bye.
I will say, one of the realest things of this movie was the delivery of the "I saved your line. Yeah, I saved your life, bitch."
That
Yes, that
that was
I felt
that
that.
was real.
Yeah,
And they weren't even trying at that moment.
you go, "I saved your life, bitch."
Bitch.
Like what? Yes.
Call it.
So that one, that was
That's So that does kind of lead into one of the questions I had. Are you, as always, spoilers ahead, are you breaking the law to take advantage of the law?
I have known so many people to get married for the wrong reasons, and I don't even mean like gold digging or you know what I mean, where people say those wrong reasons or like a pregnancy, like a shotgun wedding or like and I say wrong reasons, but
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like
yeah.
I also see like more of like people abusing the benefits of legal marriage. You know what I mean?
And this, in this case, is, but this is not just a gay thing.
Mhm.
Even
Oh, no, I see it
opposite sex couples
like
daily.
98% straight just happening all day, like whether it's you're getting married in like as a service member to get better benefits, you're getting married to get on somebody's insurance, like you're getting married because I don't know, you need a dependent or something. Like there's so many benefits and little things that like little perks here and there. Couples night 10% off.
But they're
Just little
perks, they're not reasons to go into it.
hmm
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Different. Big
And
different.
that's when I would say is like I don't want to say a bad reason, but I see that more often than like oh this is my soulmate or like a bad reason marriage.
Hmm.
Like I just hear like living in a town where it's like you're surrounded by service people and like becoming friends with like the wives before they like get shipped off somewhere. Like it's just like they were like, oh yeah, we got like $2,200 more or something. Like it's crazy. I get it. And like if it was going to happen eventually, like you're just hitting fast forward, but it's just like you're you're telling me you're doing like you're putting that reason before like I love him or like because we need to spend the rest of
Right.
our life. Like it it's not mathing.
So in kind of relating it back to old Chuck and Larry here, in this
Mhm.
situation, they are really so close and they are good Tuccis that they
Mhm.
have that love for each other. So applies different because we are not heterosexual
Mhm.
males. If I came to you with this proposal, what's your answer? We need to do this, which you're married, but like we'll get around that. Hypothetically speaking. Like how far are you going
I don't know
with
because like I'm not
or a
like if
similar idea?
like if we were both like single as they are, like he's widowed and the other one just like
Hmm.
a playboy, like if it was that situation, like I can't answer for him, but like if we were both single in that way, it would be like I'd be like, well, what about in 3 years? Well, what about in 5 years? What about in 10 years? Like what? Like I can't see anybody. Like even though it would technically we would get away with it more easily because we're not two straight men pretending to be in a homosexual relationship. It would be just a homosexual relationship.
And they were roommates.
Hmm
That would be it. We would actually be roommates.
So it would just be like, but it would be like more of like the Will and Grace thing, like when they were trying to like have us like be like the surrogate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like, well, what if I meet somebody? And then she ended up meeting somebody and like the whole thing gets thrown off. So like that would be like my like one thing of why I probably would not do it. But if I was like I knew like nothing was happening and like I had no intentions of meeting anybody or like I was just that person, like that would
But
work.
that's the thing that kind of got me too, because you knew he wasn't that person, or that he was that person, because
Well,
he's not
he just didn't want commitment.
of any kind. But you could do
Hmm
something like that for a friend. But then even still, he can't like no matter how big, like if we needed to pull a stunt, you and I, we're deep in it. We got our characters, we got our role, we got our lines. We're off book. We
Backstory.
know what's going on. So like I know that I can trust you, maybe not something quite so severe, but to be deep in that with me. And but even still, he's just running around and doing his
April
thing
Fool.
with all the women,
April Fool girl.
fully
April Fool
April
girl.
fooling about.
April Fool.
Absolutely. I you got to trust your people or be able to have that. They didn't even that wasn't even realistically. You got to talk about that. All right, you can't do X, Y, and Z, at least not for a little bit. That was never talked about. And as much as they turned into a married couple, come on now.
It was more of like the odd couple. And my one thing is it's later in my notes, but I'm going to bring it up now is they show like the bromance, they talk about like how they were there for each other. And I know the movie is only so long, but you didn't get any other connection of their like closeness other than the fact that like Adam Sandler asked Kevin Smith about his kids. And that's it. Like, is their entire like this bromance just based around your kids? And it's like, then that's just somebody being nice and asking about your day.
That's just a good Tucci.
Uh-huh. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's like, is that's all what it is? And like he was there for the kids and everything, but like, is it just their relationship seemed solely based around the children in some form or fashion?
Well, we do see later on, like at the end, near so, where they are
Mondo.
interviewed separately and they are sharing their stories of how they met and all of this. And so, like, in
Mhm.
those moments, we do get, I guess, their backstory. The gays love a backstory. We want to know the details. But so we do see kind of how deep, but I do like, there's a large focus on just the
Mhm.
kids.
You that's because that's all you see. You hear about the other things,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
actually see it in the thing. Like you don't see him being like, "Oh, he stopped and got some extra groceries." Like even that would kind of be like nice, or like you know what I mean.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they didn't even show like little things. They just showed like, "Oh, this is this." So
Yeah. It was, we don't know about
live
her.
your life, bitch.
Bitch.
So yeah, I don't know if we would get married, but what is the price of like me saving your life? Like,
What?
well, like he was like, "Well, you saved my life, so now you have to, or I saved your life, so now you have to marry me."
So, like, you owe me.
So
Right.
yeah, so if I'm not going to marry you, so
What is
like
the other thing?
yeah, what's the price?
Well, I mean, saving my life, like, okay. How do you I really like it would have to be something that came up and I was really like, this is something I can't do by myself. Like I found the loophole, I found the out, I just need the participant.
Also, too, though, like we've talked about it like at nauseum between us, like not like there's nothing I wouldn't do for you, but like we know like there's nothing that the other wouldn't do for each other. So it's like, when do we know it's outside of the regular realm? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you have to pull that lever because it would never go there again.
Tell me why I kind of thought about this and I was like, this is like I'm not going to bring this up, but apparently I am because now it just fits in too well not to. But why I was just like, so realistically speaking, if we were to look at it, not even I'm not going to say I'm not even going to put the words out there that I could possibly be responsible for this action, but if I were to even just come across a dead body that I knew
Happen upon.
just happened about just me out on a walk in the middle of the night, just me myself and mices, because apparently that's the thing I'm doing now.
Just
But if I
versus
called you and was just
strangers.
like, I got it, we got to do something about this. We got to like, and for whatever reason, I did want to just bury it and hide it and like be part of whatever. You doing it?
I don't know. Like
It's too much.
I, w- that's a lot because
Robin.
like Robin,
Robin, that's a lot, Robin.
and we also know the more people, the more loose ends. So like
Exactly.
sometimes like I don't know.
But also, why
'Cause
can't you do it yourself? Like, if
some
you
things you just have to take care of.
you have to do it yourself. If you, oh, not you again. Ah! Hey, totally thought I turned that off. We'll play with her. If you're not watching, you should be watching. That's all I'll say. So,
Stupid.
first off, let me be real. If I stumble across a dead body, low bang, no spook, keep walking. I see
Mhm.
nothing, say
And
nothing.
I didn't see nothing.
I might call it
You're not
in.
from the Appalachians, but you're from close enough,
I'll
and you
call it
know
in as I walk away.
you hear your name. No, you didn't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
all right, but
Back on track. Chuck and Larry.
yeah. So I want to get married. They get married. They start cohabitating. And one of the things
Forcefully.
where I was like that, like you see something and all of a sudden that vision gets thrown back, and it's the straight porn magazines that just went. I had one of those Ravens, and
Uh-huh.
it was when I was younger. I used to get these magazines. Have you ever worked retail with magazines before? that like had like a newsstand or like they sold
No.
like people or okay, so
I mean, I we sell books and now, but no.
when you sell them, like you have to take the outside cover off, like after they're
Yes,
expired,
yes,
and
yes.
then like you send it back, and then like you end up with like the regular magazine portion. Well, that gets sent off too sometimes. And so what they'll do is when they send these X-rated magazines to like liquor stores and stuff, they take the guts of the magazine and they'll put the good magazine in the middle and the guts are protection to protect these magazines. And so when these liquor stores open up these boxes, they have all these old magazines and they pull out the X-rated magazines and put them on the shelves. Well, when I was younger, I used to be able to get the guts of the magazines because they'd be like Tiger Bop, J14, like all of those sometimes. So I would have like Britney Spears special
Uh-huh.
issue, no Britney Spears on the cover because there was no cover. So once I saw like those where I was like, they wouldn't come like that, was when I just saw like the plastic and all of that. Because I was like, they would come in the gut. I know that's not every time, but like the liquor store way.
Yeah, we don't know about her. I've also never looked at, needed to, wanted
So
to.
now you know the full process of like the magazine comes, it doesn't sell, it's out of date because the new weekly or whatever comes
Hmm.
out, and then they separate it, they get credit from the publisher, they send it back, and then the guts recycle, reduce, reuse.
Well, all right, Miss Ma'am. The more you know.
Because
We
let
love
me
a
tell you,
backstory,
that cycle ended with scissors and on my pictures on my wall.
as it would naturally. Of course. Look at you now. Same.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, so um they start living together, they start getting the magazines. It got me to thinking, how would we cohabitate? Because I know we're very similar, but this is, I think, where it comes down to the differences and the ooh-ah-ahs.
See, the thing is here.
Uh-oh.
I and you both, I think, we like our space, we like our time. We got our hobbies, we got our crafts, we got our things, we got our this and that. I like being social and hanging out with people, but at the same time, that social meter hits high and overflows with a quickness.
Hmm.
And we just like we want to take a break. We just
So we
we just shimmy away, we take a break. That's it. We'll be back in 15. Thank you so much.
15.
I have been in cohabitant situations. I am currently in a cohabitant situation, thankfully, with good people, people I do know and love. But even still, the amount of time I just spend kind of independent and solo, it's who I am, what I
Hmm.
like. And I know they're just a short staircase away if I decide I want to be social and hang out and do this or that. And like, it's on. But like, I know how I would be. I don't know if I entirely know how you would be. And I don't know that on a 24/7 scale, that would be healthy for what we got going in our Tucciship. I will say that.
Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
Pacha. Um,
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, it depends on how much space we were cohabitating. Like if it was like a 700 square foot thing, something, I don't know about it. If it was like, I don't know, even in my house, like there's seclusion space here, definitely. So like if it was like this type of situation, yeah,
We would
just
need that
we
minimum.
we respect that the other one needs to away for a minute.
Correct. We would need that minimum 4 bedroom. Absolutely. We each get our own space and our own little creative space.
I think it would go well. I just don't know for how long because again, like we wouldn't be married. Like it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? So like how long, what's the shelf life of this thing?
It's
So,
again, we would be roommates. And like I can say, and like I'm in a place currently even to where like I love the people I live with, but it has helped show me that like I just want to just have that space for myself, even for a
the
little while.
devices.
Exactly. We're back in the single swing of things. So like just having no one else to be accountable for or to be like mindful of, and not in a bad way obviously, but just like
Yeah.
I don't, the first thing I wake up in the morning, I'm not trying to worry about like who's in the kitchen because I'm just trying to worry about making my coffee.
Hmm.
I ain't trying to work around to do all this like You do you, but I'm just gonna wait so that I can do me.
We're gonna go ahead and give you your space so I can have mine.
Me and Mice's.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I know how I am, and it would be short lived. Whether that's like a year, we do it for the lease. We save up some money. We get through all of the lawsuits trying to hit our way because people
Mm.
investigating the homos.
Yep.
Get out of here. Get off me.
My next note is not Jessica Biel.
That's all.
I
That's all she wrote.
that's literally all she wrote. I completely forgot about her. And
Yep.
when she just came lawyering out onto the screen, I
The
said,
entrance they gave her.
not Jessica Biel. Oh, no. Uh,
Where's she been? Where you been, gal?
she-
Oh, yeah. I
up in the Appalachians, not hearing her name. That's where she is.
Good for her. Not worried about it. See,
Mm.
freedom. She got hers. Is
She did not get hers. It was with JT.
well. She didn't write that book.
She, trying to write that book.
I mean, I have no qualms. I have no this or that. It was a surprise to see because hello, Jessica Biel. But she did what she needed to do. She played the part like she was playing the part.
She,
And that's about all I got to say about her.
I love in my mind connecting movies to make them like canon in my head,
Yes, you
you know?
do. Yes, you
And
do.
so I after I realized she's a lawyer, I realized like, oh, she can't take this anymore. She can't take Adam Sandler. And so like that's the reason why she doesn't believe in love anymore. And she then becomes an entertainment attorney and then stars in Valentine's Day. Hmm.
Okay.
Just like
I see what you've
Claire
done here.
Danes goes from Home for the Holidays 1995 to Family Stone. That is the same character.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that can happen when it's the same person playing these characters. But I see what you're doing here.
No, but like it tracks.
Write me out. Write it out. We're gonna watch the trilogies. Write out the movies.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
gonna
seven
follow the
movies
life
with Kevin
story.
Bacon. It
I'm
is,
gonna follow
but
the
it
life story
is
of. Okay.
just
She
like
did.
Candy is the same character as the mannequin in A Mom for Christmas, Olivia Newton-John. Damn. But what about that Halloween party scene? What? Everybody there was like the token gay.
I
Like
don't know if I even caught at first that it was a Halloween party or if it was even that time of year. So when I see them walking down this
it really
corridor,
wasn't. They just needed a Halloween party.
you're right. It was just
That's
a
your
gay
that's
event. It
one
wasn't a
party of it
Halloween
was
party. It was a
an
costume party.
invitation. It was Jessica Biel comes on screen. Oh, I have a gay brother. Oh, what do the gays love? Halloween. So then next scene, Halloween party.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't miss that at least because out of
So
nowhere. And I see them walking down this corridor and him and this apple
not not looking like Fruit of the Loom. You know when you
straight
see
up.
a
Paula Abdul straight
costume
up.
in the same movies, you'll also see like the carrot. I know the carrot and the apple aren't the same, but like the carrot from Big Daddy, you'll see in other movies. Not Big
Oh,
Daddy.
yeah.
I'm
I think I know
saying
what you're
Big
talking
Daddy
about.
because of
Sandler.
Daddy Daycare. Like that carrot's been around, girl.
Get your money's
Passed
worth.
around party carrot.
Oh, oh. Boil that carrot. Boil that carrot down. Eat it like a hot dog.
So it it was one of those costumes, I think, the apple.
Okay,
The new
okay.
feature, the release feature, that one's new, I think. I think that was a paid actor. But that whole costume party, like
Gay.
that's what I'm gonna call it because it was like I said, it was like one of every token
So
gay.
gay.
And it was just like they have the drag queen, they have the bear, they have like I don't know
The
the other
butterfly. The
and
act like
then
the
like the girl
literal
with the
fairy.
swing.
Uh-huh.
And they had and then Jessica Biel's like, "Oh yeah, here's my gay brother Nick Swartzen." Of course.
Well,
Of course. Again, heavy hitters of the time, of the time. But
of
also
the time.
love Terry from Reno 911, and that's Nick Swartzen, where you've seen Terry on the roller skates. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "What's up?"
Mm-hmm.
Does Nick Swartzen get a pass? at him doing what he's doing. Oh, he done did. Because again, loved Terry. He was doing Terry again, but also like this could have actually been a gay character, like a gay person, like playing a gay character. Because
Correct.
obviously you say gay people can't play straight, so what else are we supposed to play?
And when you have a
But
whole movie about us, and
Stanley Tucci.
in this case, it makes sense for the lead actors to not be the
Mhm.
homosexuals. However, there's a whole party here. You could have got some authenticity up in there. I
Like cameos. Like I know like Drag Race isn't a thing like it was now, but like there's still people that could have been like I wouldn't have been as mad seeing the token drag queen if it was more of a cameo appearance because it was like, oh, you know who to call this person because
correct,
they are of the community.
correct,
Like
and
if I
like
were to see like Lady Bunny or
somebody on
something mix up
production
with them.
knows
Hmm.
exactly. Yeah. Also, why did so many? And I understand doing coordinating costumes, but why was every couple there just in matching costumes?
They were like, I'm the plug in the socket.
Not even those. Like literally, I saw two. I think two Girl Scouts dancing together.
Oh my God. My favorite is when it's like no shirt and like just an accessory over it and like booty shorts.
David Spade as
A pacha.
uh, uh,
Sometimes, okay, slap me, slap me if I'm wrong. Um,
gladly.
sometimes I see David Spade, especially more recently, and I go, I'd suck it. Not proud of it, but like sometimes like the lighting's good.
I don't know that I have seen him recently, so no
And
comment.
but then I go, no, no, basically tiger blood. So we can't. Too real.
So Chuck
But
and
like
Larry,
so does Nick Swartzen get a pass?
I why are we giving people passes?
I don't know.
Okay, then there we go. No,
But I'm saying I loved his work in Terry. Maybe if it wasn't like maybe if he had like range to his gay characters, I would be more appreciative of it. But now it like, oh, Terry's just a caricature. It just has a different name.
this whole movie was just a caricature.
What do you mean? It was
What
in the
don't I
HBO
mean?
documentary, Tuccis Kept Confessions.
Oh, this was Paris's Burning. Got you. Okay.
Right.
I it's just, no. The whole thing was just that the flirting with the mailman,
No, the mailman flirting with him.
well, fake
It was
calling
it was
out to the
the writing and
mailman.
then all of the puns. And then he was like, give me one more. And then
Ah,
he said it. But also like the writing. You want to talk about the writing?
oh,
Um, who as a gay person
oh, okay. Hi,
would
hello.
ask another gay person,
Mm-hmm.
so who's the pitcher, who's the catcher? Sorry, I went full Mad Hatter. Um,
This was on this. I had a visceral reaction when it was said, and the way that he is just bragging to, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna. Why?
and because
Never.
praise Jessica Biel. No,
First off,
no, that
high
means those
chance.
are those are hungry eyes watching me.
Not that we're just having this casual conversation. At least not at first. It comes up. We all talk about it. Of course we do. However, high chance I can just look at you, and I know what's going on here.
Oh,
I know who's who. Oh, you singing Chuck and Larry? Okay, let's talk about that. Who do we think is the top and bottom here? Not the man and woman, because I hate that shit. Don't be asking me
yeah.
who's
Who's
the
the
man and
pitcher?
who's
Who's
the
the
woman.
receiver? Yeah, all of that.
But more people need to get into
I
the verse lifestyle. That is all I will say.
I think that Chuck is the top, Larry is the bottom, but once in a while,
Okay, okay.
Chuck will just be insatiable and just need it all.
Just full slopopotamus.
Just
Uh-huh.
like a weekend bender. And then he acts like it didn't happen, and then, like,
Oh,
6 to 9 months later, just
yep. Meow. Clawing. Uh-huh.
just
Exactly.
making muffins.
No, I
He's gonna be kneading them biscuits.
oh, oh, oh,
Uh-huh.
just needing
Uh-huh.
them.
He said, "Squill, piggy," and then he
All
said,
right.
yeah.
Let's go.
Those are just my thoughts.
Where's Pua? Let's talk about it.
Leave the pig out of the
No,
but,
no,
yeah,
I
the
would
writing.
never. I'm not.
What so who's your pitcher? Who's your catcher?
Oh, no. Since we're just airing their business because that's what we do, as homosexuals. I no, I have to agree. I
Mhm.
think, I think, Larry is probably truer to the lines of an actual verse, still leaning bottom, but
He's
he puts
he's a
verse so
soft
you
touch.
assume he's the bottom, and then
Kinda
he's
gets
like,
the height.
on the occasion, I'll mix it up a little bit. But yeah.
I had tea mini martinis. That's him. That's him.
No, I don't like it. I don't want it. I could not repeat what you just said if I tried.
Oh, you never heard her before?
I don't know that I have. Who is she? Where'd she come from? What's her story?
Oh, she's ingrained
All right.
in
All
the
right.
culture.
That's trauma. Okay.
This is the culture.
Hi. Hello, culture.
Are you ready for the culture? Oh, Lord.
Anyway.
But those protesters were triggering. Like you had the
Have
video
you?
reaction
Okay.
to the pitcher catcher. And then they cut to Grandpa No Teeth, and he's just like I
Growing
can't
up in the South,
because
it was too real.
that's what I was gonna say because it is
Too
so
real.
real.
Yeah.
Because they're literally like, yes, I
But
lead a
were they
group of
actors
people,
or
and I am going to literally say all of these words out here in public on a megaphone and come into your house to do it,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even though I wasn't invited. But remember public space. Yeah, well, we're not outside protesting every I'm not going to get started. But
Well, she's already gotten started, but we can slow it down. Have you ever okay, so have you been in what's the closest proximity you've come into with the protesters? Because I know you've been there, you've seen them, and
I
you've
have
had
to
the
walk like feet. Like I know I'm not confrontational. I'm not those people that like go out and start making out in front of them, but like
right.
dude, you're in my house right now. Like this is literally a pride event. I don't know why they show up to Comic-Con, WonderCon, like outside like theme parks sometimes, but
Because it's anyone that's different and that has
like
personality.
but it's just like you knew that party was going on. You gathered these people and led them there just to spew this hate in the name of something else when just call it what it is, hate. And so it's just so baffling because like again, like you came into their house.
Correct.
Oh,
I
you
don't
were
know.
invited.
So
And
hi, hello again, Chuck and Larry. I there's there's so many examples to pull from what I don't know. It was hard. Well, okay, let's say this. It was hard to find examples to put us in as relatability almost.
oh, to plug into the story, other than the fact that we both have kids that we bond over, or I have kids that we bond over.
Well, kind of.
Like I said, I remembered it differently, and like it was a different time when I saw this. Like
It was a
I,
gay
as,
movie for the straight man.
but also like being a gay person, going out into the world as a gay adult, and like this is one of those times being like, oh, so this is what being gay is. Or like when somebody's younger and they see like a high school movie and they're like, oh, so this is what high school is. Like
Yes.
that's what I thought it was because again, it was the time, it was my age. So I was like, and again, like this is how everything was being depicted.
Yep. No,
I was like, this would
absolutely.
make a this was people gay people for the story not being shown in a bad light. Like, for the gay people to come out on top in the end, I guess, was a good light. But, like, one of my things in my notes, where is it, is, like, the actual representation of, like, a queer character is, like, isn't them, like, standing up for themselves the way I feel I would or you would, any of our family would. They're just reactionary and violent.
Yes.
Like, if somebody drops the F-bomb on me or just, like, says something about what I'm wearing, I'm literally not turning around, dropping into the split, and crotch punching. Like, I get it's for a comedic effect, but, like, it happens throughout the movie. Like,
Yep.
somebody throws a punch when it doesn't need to be. Like, I would have a comeback like that, and you know what? That's gay trauma.
It's how you approach it, but you know what? That is their own type of trauma. I don't know where it's coming from for this little kid, other than that's just pure self-defense. He said, "You're not trying me today."
Mhm.
But, like, for Chuck and Larry in these instances, like, "Mama, that's straight men.
Mhm. Or,
That's,
like, the drag
straight
queens and
Brooklyn
and
men."
stuff. Like, I know the first drag queen threw a stone,
Mhm.
but, like, when she needed to. And
Right.
I know it's more than just a drag queen, it's Marsha P. Johnson,
They're
but
correct.
it's just, like, we're I feel like violence is, like, the very last thing, so for that to be brought to the forefront as, like, the first, like, "What?" Like, the knee-jerk reaction is just, I was like, "Ooh,
But I
this
feel
is."
like there are some people, even adults, grown adults today, that do some things like that, and they
Yeah.
kind of react in a same and similar way. Unfortunately, it's never been my
Mhm.
way. I'm not a violent person in general, but it is interesting to see just that quick flip, and then
Like, I
whether
will
it's
defend myself, but, like, they didn't need to get to the point of where they needed to defend themselves like that.
no, but they again not not even gay, so they don't even know. They've not been in the community. They don't know the lingo. They're not the quick witted,
Mhm.
sharp, snatch you ball in a heartbeat type yet. They're still on their journey. It's only just beginning.
Yeah, like, nobody was gathered. It was just throat punches.
Mhm. Which I'm not going to say in this case, outside of the event, was not deserved because I would enjoy seeing
Oh, right.
someone like that just get the,
It was crazy
and you
how much
felt it. Like he went for it.
well, I think also because, like I said, like, I've been so many places where they're just uninvited,
Yeah,
and it's, like, literally,
they're
like, you're
never
a complete friend.
invited.
Like, I know you're thinking we're, like, worshiping false idols, but, like, I just got,
At
like, this party
concerts,
in my family
even,
trying to have some fun,
like, what do
so.
you think has happened? We're going to see an artist perform live, and you're outside, not even really protesting the artist, but the people going to see the artist.
Mhm.
What are we doing here?
I don't
It,
know.
it
And
doesn't,
also, what you're trying to do, that is not the way to be doing it.
not at all, not at all, not for me and my sis.
Mhm.
So in this case, are you? We've kind of touched on this a little bit, but and this is kind of jumping to the end. This trial,
Oh my god, that was literally next to my notes. I was gonna say the fallout of these people at the very end, and it goes to a trial. First of all, what two firemen are getting a two-page spread in some gossip local rag,
well, that
and
just
then
shows you about the size of the
who's
town.
getting like a full, like, I've seen federal trials with less in attendance.
Honestly, that.
I
But they
don't
were local
understand.
heroes. First off, that's not a hero to me, mama. Firefighters, yes. What you just did right here with all of this mess, when this whole abuse of the system,
Oh,
does not make you a hero. I don't care what the statement you had to support it was.
no,
No, no, no, no,
totally not.
no. No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
So I take it then, because one of my questions, and I, of course, already knew the answer to this because we feel the same. Are you forgiving the straights in this situation? Not only are you forgiving them, but are you putting them on a pedestal?
For Chuck and Larry.
Yes, that, all of that. No, are we forgiving Chuck and Larry for
Um,
what they've done in this? Because they also drummed it up to be, which, yes, you're breaking the law.
they're trying to spin it with, like, yeah, oh, I they would do anything for your friend,
Yes.
and, like, this is something crazy, and I do understand that the healthcare system, I know it's not the healthcare, but it's, like, pension and, like, benefits that come along with
Yeah.
marriage, I feel are it's weird that they have to be through marriage, especially, like, when you get into, like, gay marriage, like, if something happens to a partner, like, their partner can't go in, like, their boyfriend.
Yep.
can't go in and see them in the hospital or something because 'cause they're not family unless they're
Mhm.
married. So it's like, yeah, they're trying to show, like, insurance and things, but there's, like, actual, like, life or death benefits to being married that they didn't even, like, bother to highlight, and so, like, that was really sad. And so in that case, obviously, they're getting married again for, like, the wrong reasons, like we talked about at the top,
Absolutely.
but it's more of, like, they were just trying to abuse the system in the story. They weren't trying to highlight, like, this is how fucked up the system actually is. Like, Hurricane
Right.
Bianca was a comedy, but at the center of it, it was like being illegal is still gay in these states, and it will cost you your job in these states. And
Mhm.
so, like, that's the underlying thing.
There
Yeah,
was
I
a
gotta
social
take it off again.
commentary. Uh-huh.
But this didn't do that. It
No.
was like, "Oh, you can get an insurance break if you do this." But
And there's just one little nod mention
And
of
we
how the
just need to go
system
to
is
Canada,
broken.
and we just need to do this. We just have to jump through these obstacles, and once we get to the other side, boom, it's ours. It wasn't like that. Like, it didn't highlight any aspects. And again, like, it's a short movie and, like, montage, and they had to talk about, like, what they did. They couldn't show it, but they no aspect, no nothing. So to get a pass for this, for Chuck and Larry to do it for the wrong reasons, no, revoked to the
On
house.
many levels. Doing
Mhm.
it for the wrong reasons, abusing the system, even just the legal system as it is, as they say, making kind of like making a mockery of like the community and taking benefits
And
that
again,
have only just,
what
and
is
this is in a time
but
where
what
you're
did
not
this make
even
people do?
married.
It's for the kids. And what was it for? The kids.
It's all for the kids.
You know,
But they're not
the
even
pet
actually
the pet trees
married.
for the kids. The kids need to be taken care of. The kids.
They're still at a point where in America they cannot be married. It's only they can file for a domestic partnership.
You can get a domestic partnership and that grants you like starter rights.
No, exactly.
And then you
But
can
that's
get
we still weren't
legally married and
worthy.
then you get all of the rights.
Uh-huh. But they had to drive to Canada to get married because there was still we were still in those levels and we're still on some of those levels,
Mhm.
obviously. But
It's not legal in every state, is it? Federally it is. But like
correct. There
I
are
don't know.
still, yep, locally and like in smaller scales, yeah, there's different
Like,
jurisdictions.
even, like, in this day and age, like, hearing all of like, well, I wouldn't say, like, hearing all of the stories because it does happen where, like, people don't issue the marriage license, and then coming from this age of Chuck and Larry, 2007, going into the gay world,
Yep.
seeing, like, the prejudice and stuff, I was now, in this day and age, today, I was like, "Is my marriage license going to be issued?" Like, I literally thought about it for a second, was like, "What if it's not?"
Yep.
But, like, the person couldn't have been nicer, like, they were sweet, congratulations, like, all of it, but, like, for a minute, I was like, "Am I gonna get that crazy lady who owes restitution?"
I mean, it is possible still,
Because it's not what they
unfortunately.
believe. Well, if it's not what you believe, then this is not part of your occupation. Same
Right.
with, like, pharmacy,
This is not for you to
if
put your personal
this
beliefs
gets
in.
in the way of you doing your job, you need to find another job. But
Yep.
again, that's another show.
And thank you next. Moving on. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
they do not get a pass here. I
Mm-mm.
never got less frustrated as this movie went on.
And so I will say they probably will be friends forever if we're gonna get
Oh,
into, like, the rating. They will be friends forever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
Insurance Teamsters. But,
there's the,
like,
of course the moment we think they're gonna lose it, and
this is
that's
just
it.
something I need to revisit. I don't I don't wanna, like, know where their story is. Like, I don't want them to be like, "Oh, well, Chuck finally got his children, and now the kids play with each other and every" like, I don't want that. Like, the movie was done. Cute. I thought this was way different. But again, like, that was the world when the movie came out. So, what are you gonna do? And it was an Adam Sandler movie.
It says a lot already. No, they're definitely a lifetime Tucci ship. It is
Mhm.
clear they have gotten themselves in that role, and if they were to ever even toss around the idea of making a sequel or another version of something like this,
The reboot?
I'm burning it to the ground and protesting the studio, the green lights
Mhm.
that.
One thing, though, I will say is that at the end, at the courtroom scene where, like, the kids had to, like, explain, like, what was happening, the kids
Hmm.
got it.
Oh yeah,
Simple language, nothing contrived, no talking around things.
and it was actually kind of sweet.
They knew what was happening, they knew what was going on. I don't understand why it's difficult. Also, that Lance Bass cameo. Here's my Lance Bass impression. That's all he does for 45
You're not
no matter
wrong.
what he does.
You're not wrong at all.
I will say though, he was our candy bar neighbor when we were at Sweet Hollywood.
Oh, hey. Hi.
But again though, like, yes, he made the cameo because but also when you break it down, he had an ultimatum. It was he got a call from a magazine saying, "We're gonna run this story about your personal life. You can either confirm or deny it." And so he was like, "Well, I have to get ahead of it," and he came out.
And that still happens very often to this day. People being pushed and forced. Like, that's not my business.
Like, yeah, there's some people that we joke around, like Shawn Mendes and stuff, and like also just because, but like
Part fantasy,
it's your
100%.
own journey, and like
Yeah.
that's on me. But
Y-
like your own journey, and like or like some kids, like that kid that you see in the movie, like Larry's son, like
mm-hmm.
obviously, but like
Mm-hmm.
when he still tells you, like, I have something to tell you, you still have to go, not like we binge on new kid, like that's not helping the situation.
That's what one of my parents did. They're just like, well, I just thought this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay.
I had a, well, you're gay, right? Yeah. All right. So anyway, blah blah. Like,
I mean, well, thank God for that at least. Just
mhm.
simple and done. Yeah. I have an uncle who still, as far as my knowledge to this day, has never once said the words "I'm gay." It just
Oh
he's
yeah, yeah.
had a partner
I have
for as long as I can remember.
uncle auntie. Hmm.
Does it just it is what it is.
Hmm.
You like it or you don't.
So it's again, it's just your journey, but like it
I don't like this journey that we're on.
yeah, we don't need to take this
Mm-mm.
journey. We don't need to walk this trail,
I'm hopping off
this
this train at the
trek.
next stop. Thank you.
But um, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the entire takeaway for me though is like I'm so baffled to be like this was something not to me, like I wasn't obsessing over it, but like to be like this made an impression on me as like a gay person, but it
Maybe
wasn't the feelings I had like when I rewatched it.
right.
Like watching it today, like with everything going on, what I've been through, what I've lived, what I've experienced, have seen, and go, that's not it in these scenes. Like I suggested this movie though. And
You
like it's
did.
because of all of those reasons. And then to go back and watch it and to be like, whoa,
Mm. About
whoa.
her.
Yeah, it's like Gay Song of the South. There, I said it.
On that note.
It's literally like you watch it and you're like, oh, people were wilding out back then.
It's
And to
Robin.
think in a couple years, what is that, 20 years?
Ew.
Like leaps and bounds, but also like
In just under 4 years. Yeesh.
we're going back and forth.
I
So I
don't.
don't know where we sit. Like we're forward in some ways, backwards even further than 2007 in others. I don't understand it.
Welcome
It's
to our
ridiculous.
journey.
But all I can do is worry about me and my sis.
Every day, all day.
All day, mama.
Thank you.
So do we have any other thoughts on it? Do you need to rate the friendship or you I think we're both in agreement that they are going to stay friends.
No,
But
that's
like
solid. As far as the Tucciship, like, it's just neither of us are or will ever be a firefighter. So what am I gonna do? Ask you, are you gonna run into this fire and save me if something happens? Like, if we're both firefighters, of course you are. It's our job.
it's
Would I
literally the job. Also, where were your oxygen masks all throughout that? So,
that I but yeah, it was just I get the idea of why we were talking about this movie, but we just said we some things have been
but like
forgotten.
when we get down to it, I think it was just like, what would you do for your Tucci? And apparently they would insurance fraud for their Tucci.
Literally anything it seems. Anything and everything. So good for them.
So, but also, do you think that it would be like he would have still married him if he hadn't saved his life? Do you think there's still that good of Tucci's?
Mm.
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 I think he
You
would
know, people get
eventually
crazy when like they think they're gonna die.
he would get convinced into it. He might be bought into it, but I think he would still at some point he'd cave. I think
Mhm.
so.
And then yeah, it'd be like 90 Day Fiance with the
Oh,
spinoff, like Family Chantel or something.
there we go.
Yeah, but yeah. So
That's all I got.
that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Thanks for listening on your favorite podcatcher and watching on YouTube.
As always, you can follow along with more of our antics on TikTok and Instagram at Good Tuccis.
And check out our Linktree for access to all of our companion content and our Discord server. So until next week, we'll see you then.
Bye, Tuccis.